So why three vectors? And what's the underlying insight that makes that the right model for what we're dealing with today?
So why three vectors? I would say it's really about the evolution of technology generally. Three vectors, I think we started out in the privacy space, but actually evolved very quickly, realizing that it's all about data movement. And if you think about data movement in modern cybersecurity, it's about, first of all, brute force protection of, ransomware is a great example, right? So we have our ransomware product that does that. Then you've got the introduction of AI, which has also changed the game too, because we've got the big shadow AI problem. We've got organizations now that don't really know what's going on in their four walls. I mean, we often hear stories from CISOs that they went and asked their staff members, employees, what are they actually using, and invariably they weren't even telling them the truth. So there's no audit capability, there is no understanding of what's truly going on, and so shadow AI has become a really big problem because it's again about data movement. It's about data leaving the building and corporate secrets moving out of the building. And then I guess thirdly, I would say then we haven't even touched on what agentic AI is going to do. Imagine AI on steroids where it's actually sitting on your laptop, reading all your content and communicating all of that with an LLM. It's unbelievable. What the capabilities are unbelievable, but the security implications are also unbelievable, and yet there are no controls in place, and the risks for organizations are probably higher than they've ever been since I've been in the industry, 30 years or so. I've never seen anything rapidly advanced like this in terms of a technology, but also the security implications that go along with that.
So how do those three vectors connect? And I suppose what does a CISO see differently once they start thinking in that three-vector mindset?
Right, so how do the three vectors connect? I would say they connect because it's, again, all about the data and the data movement. So everything we face in cybersecurity, even the old school ways of thinking about it from a traditional, let's block everything and let's use the blocking approach. That doesn't really work because we know that the bad guys are going to get in. But it's always about data movement. If you think about it, ransomware, it's about a data movement because the attack vector comes at you, comes into the organization, it spreads laterally through the organization, and it does all this key exchange, and it's doing a lot of different things, talking back to home bases, extracting your data for extortion purposes. That's data movement, no matter how you look at it. Let's look at shadow AI. Shadow AI, it's about data movement. It just happens that the data is actually moving from your desktop machine into an LLM, which can also be hacked as well. And we've seen some of the amazing security breaches recently on AI LLMs where they've injected hidden commands inside repositories, etc. So there are a lot of problems. And then, of course, you've got the people problem that well-meaning employees usually are uploading amazing amounts of confidential data into these LLMs. So again, it's a data movement problem. And then we talk about agentic AI, the third vector. Again, it's all about data because in this particular case, it's about collecting data on the endpoint, and it's actually then communicating your calendars, your emails, what you're doing, when you're doing it, to these LLMs to make informed decisions about maybe what you want to do next and making suggestions and automating your life. But in the process, has complete access to all of your folders, all of your drives, and all of the information on them, and it's sending that to the LLM. Again, it's a data movement problem.
So what changes in a security program when they adopt the three-vector mindset?
So when you adopt a three-vector mindset, I think you're shifting your thought process from purely blocking everything and perimeter defense to becoming more of a 360 view of the entire workplace. So you're thinking about data moving in and out at the same time. there's always been, and it's a very obvious thing, it's a natural thing for people to do. If you've got an attacker coming towards you, you're going to want to stop him, so you do a brute force stop him. This is why firewalls started out, right? It's our first line of defense typically within corporate firewalls, but we've got these new problems in society because, post-COVID, nobody's in the office anymore, we don't have the protection of the corporate firewall networks, etc. And then you've got all these new vectors become a problem. And so instead of just thinking of data coming in, now you have to think of data going back out over the Wi-Fi network in Starbucks, and we have to stop that and protect that. So it's really just, it's not replacing anything, I would say, but it's actually a really important adjunct. It's like you've got the other part of the story you were always missing, but you never really thought about. Because these guys are busy, let's face it, CISOs are busy guys. They've got a lot of things, and literally this is the toughest market in the world, right? 6,000 products in the marketplace. What is a CISO going to do? And 99% of them are EDR products, right? Which is the perimeter defense approach. Everyone's just stuck in their way, and it's like, it feels to me, it's sort of like pre-iPhone, post-iPhone, right? It's like the world changed really quickly when people got it. Oh my God, this can totally change. And I feel like this is what, data exfiltration is all about.
So what's the one sentence description of this framework?
The one sentence description of anti-data exfiltration is really stopping data movement outside your organization.